watching Entertainment Las Vegas Style with your host, Entertainment Ambassador Tony Sacca.
There's no other place like Las Vegas to see, no other place like Las Vegas to be, where beautiful mountains surround the town, your dreams and fantasies are all around. The lights are so bright, they stand so high in the sky, so let you know there's gonna be a show in Las Vegas, what a town.
Entertainment Las Vegas Style features the hottest headliners, celebrities, and performers, and the most exciting production shows from the entertainment capital of the world. This is Entertainment Las Vegas Style.
76911, everybody.
Mrs. Smothers' favorite son and the other one, the Smothers Brothers.
What song is over? It's over.
Thinking about comedy duos like Abbott and Costello and Laurel and Hardy, you say you were a musician first. You weren't thinking about being a team like them. That wasn't the furthest thing for your mind,
That
right?
was incidental. We turned out to be a comedy team when we realized that comedy was easier for us than our music. Our music we have to work at. We like music and we like singing, but the comedy was so easy, and our different point of views are so defined.
You have to have hits. And one of the greatest singing groups I know in folk music was the Limelighters. They made the mistake of not having a lot of hits. And Kingston
Great
Trio,
show band, though.
they were wonderful. Kingston Trio have a lot of hits. They still come back. And so, comedy, you didn't have to have all those hits. But you had to have the hit television show or the hit exposure. So I guess our hits was television.
Everyone talks about your timing. I mean,
We don't know what they're talking about.
Well, they talk about our timing because we are not
There's no
quotable.
material.
There's no material.
Must be the timing.
No one. The only thing they ever copied of the Smothers was "Mom liked you best" and "Oh yeah," and after that they have trouble. They can't. People leave a showroom and they're saying, "Yeah, that line of what's I can't remember." So timing was a conversation, and timing and
Tommy saw the best timing comic in the world, probably, over and over again when we started the Hungry Eye. We got to see all the greats at the Hungry Eye across the street.
Purple in San Francisco.
We started 59, and that was Mort Saul and Shelley Berman and Lenny Bruce and Nicholson May. That was it. The guy who he saw was Professor Irwin Corey. He's another guy you say is timing because he has no material. None whatsoever.
It's all just kind of fractured sentences with long pauses
It's all
and
timing.
releases and timing. And
So if you stole anything, he says, I stole his timing.
we like to take a moment in our act, and there's places where I say, really be real with me. And I say, Tom, look at me. I mean it. I was counting on you to finish that song. I spent a lot of time. You didn't know the words, and you can hear a pin drop. He says, and then you made fun of me. And he's very hurt. He says, you made fun. I said, didn't make fun of you.
No, I didn't. Yes, you did.
I didn't make fun of you.
Well, what do you call it?
Ridicule. I ridiculed you.
That's right.
I didn't push you away, said, you don't know the words, you don't sing, did I? I brought you in, I said, you can. I explained how you could sing the song, a duet. And what do I get for that? What is the thanks that I get? He's standing up there in front of all these people making fun of your brother for his efforts to include you.
I wasn't making.
I can't believe you did that.
I was not making fun of you.
Sir, yes, it was.
I was not. I was not making fun of
Well,
you.
what do you call it?
Ridicule.
In 1970, we were headlining at Caesar's Palace, and we had the package. We produced it, and we had. So I said, "Man, the Everly Brothers, they're kind of a downside during the rock and roll era." I said, "Everly Brothers and Smothers Brothers, it'd be perfect." Second night, the road manager comes down and says, "The boys aren't going on." An hour before the show, the boys are not going on. Don is in his dressing room, and Phil is up in his hotel room, and they're mad. They're not talking. They're not going on. They're just not. So I look and watch the hour before the show. I go, "Wow." And I go, well, I said, go tell them to pack and goodbye. Get out of the hotel and be moving. Well, of course, they came down to the show. Never looked at each other. So I told Dick, I said, Dick, we've had our problems as brothers and stuff. Let's have dinner with them. Dick said, no, man, stay out of their business. So he said, okay. So the next night between the 8 o'clock.
By the way, they were the same ages. We're within days of the same
Don
age.
and Everly, the oldest brother, we're 1 day apart, and Dickie's 3 months older.
We could
than
relate as
Phil.
brothers to these guys.
So we're brothers. We're the same age. We've done the same thing. Worked together a long time. So Dickie says, reluctantly says, okay. So after the first show, we all go to dinner, and we're sitting there after the 8 o'clock show, and we order drinks, And I said, Don, what's the problem? Don goes, well, Phil, and blah, blah, blah. And it was 5 minutes. Dickie was siding with Phil. I was siding with Don, and we got up and we both left. Dickie hung out with Phil for 2 weeks. I hung out with Don. We took the older positions, brother. That's my favorite story of trying to do good work, and that's the last time we talked to each other.
Take it, Dickie Smothers. Little louder, please. Everybody. La, 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 la.
The Museum of Broadcasting in New York City does a retrospective, and they're analyzing your timing.
They had a slow week.
That's pretty neat. We're
Oh, here's the thing blew my mind. My stepson. I married a lady with 5 kids, 3 are graduating from college. And his Tyler called up and says, Mom, you know, I'm studying your husband in school today. in the television or the political or something. We're in the books, and they were studying me. He said, I just thought he was your husband. You know, he's done some stuff.
Don't you think, dearest maiden, you'd better agree to make love once the night it sings in the tree? La 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 chirp chirp.
Sound of a nightingale. Big nightingale.
Hey, Yo-Yo Man, stop for a second. Show everybody your groovy look. Look really groovy. You gotta admit that's pretty groovy looking. But you too could look that groovy. All you have to do is utilize the yo-yo. Let's see you do around the world. Around the world illustrates the philosophy of yo. Shows how we live our lives like the planets that spin around in the universe. We're always doing something. We're always going somewhere. Let's see you do around the world backwards. Around the world backwards is very difficult because of the direction.
Where did yo-yo actually originate? Just to know, and how did it become part of you?
Well, it originated in Greece, as far as we know. The yo-yo was invented thousands of years ago, and then it was a big hit in the French in 1600s. It's the Philippines.
How did it get to the Philippines?
I don't know how it went to the Philippines. It went through. Yeah, the Spanish came through as a.
Drop some yo-yos.
But it's a worldwide toy. Every child knows the word yo-yo. It came to us through as children. We were the Filipino yo-yo demonstrators came to our schools as kids.
It was part of the culture in the 40s and the 50s, very much.
50s, and then
40s.
Mason Williams, who wrote our brother's theme in Classical Gas, a lot of people know that song. He brought us a song about he didn't write, a friend of his, Rick Cooner, wrote the song about the traveling yo-yo man who stayed at the YMCA and went from school to school setting up these contests and coming back, and it was a wonderful little song, so we started singing it, and then Mason said, why don't you try a yo-yo trick? I tried to find a yo-yo. They couldn't find them. They were just moribund. They were gone, dead. They'd find them in the back of a carton, back of a store. And I started remembering some of my tricks. And then we traveled around doing this, a little bit of it in the show, and the word got out from all these old yo-yo guys that were yo-yo champions that the Smothers Brothers were doing yo-yo, and they'd show up for the playing yo-yo, they said. And they would teach me tricks, and I'd learn more and more, and pretty soon I got pretty good at it, and the yo-yo man became a character, and Dickie is the
voice?
The voice of yo.
To shoot the moon correctly, you've got to be in a genuine state of yo. That means the yo must flow throughout your entire body from head to toe. You can't fake it. You've got to feel groovy all over. That's goofy. I just say goofy. Groovy. That's not a compliment. Shoot the moon, yo-yo man. Let me reiterate, it's not a state of perfection. It's the art of doing it. That's right. Pull it back. Bring it in. Hit the balance. Nicely done. He's got it. Let's hear it. Shoot the moon. A perfect performance of absolute control. Look at that. All right.
You know, it's hip when you guys do it. It really relaxes people. You get into that real...
You smiled. You have to smile. By the way, when we were doing the yo-yo way back when we were working Caesar's Palace or any of these places with right around the country, the old Union backstage guys are hard as nails. Tommy would give them yo-yos. And
they're out there
almost everyone had a wrist, and they got this glaze and this smile on their face. You smile when you see it.
It definitely puts you in the state of yo.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Blast off!
it! The Yo-Yo Man, ladies and gentlemen. Tom Smothers.
Let's talk about Vegas for a minute. Do you like the changes and here in Las Vegas and the acts and families? And there's a lot of positive changes, isn't there?
Dickie loves it.
I live here. I'm a resident here.
You're kidding? I didn't know.
I probably should have moved here 2 decades ago.
You 5 years, 6 years now?
Yeah. And I had 2 children born here, even though I didn't live here. I played here enough. I think Vegas is changing the way the rest of the world is changing. There's excesses everywhere you go. Our cars are excessive. I drove an Excursion. I rented it, 7,000-pound car. I needed this car.
People in Vegas.
The food is big. Vegas is bigger. You know, it used to be a strip with some vacant lots, and they had downtown. Now Vegas is wide and it's deep. It's not a haven for cheap buffets. It's world-class dining. These shows are the best shows in the world. Yes, I like the changes, but it's commensurate with everything else is getting so big and grand. And Vegas is, I think,
Staying ahead of that curve.
Staying right ahead of that curve. People complain about the traffic. Go to Myrtle Beach. They got one. Go to Branson. This lady delivered a baby in a traffic jam in Branson. And when the paramedics came in there, they said, you shouldn't got on the road if you're going to have a baby. She says, I wasn't even pregnant when I got on this road.
Jimmy Crackcorn, I don't care. Jimmy Crackcorn, I don't care. I don't care. I don't care.
Wait. That's not the way that song goes.
I don't care.
Then why sing it?
I don't know.
Don't know what?
No, I don't know. I don't. Let me think.
Don't care about
Let
what?
me think. Maybe I do know. Nope, don't know.
Don't.
I thought about it and I just don't know. I thought I knew, but never. Maybe I never knew, but I don't care.
You're acting like a stupid fool.
What?
I said you're acting like a stupid fool.
That's my job.
That's your job.
What do you like people to walk out feeling after they've seen a Smothers Brothers concert?
It's like they just saw a couple of their uncles or their cousins, hadn't seen them for a long time, say, God, they're still great.
In this world,
There's hope because as Americans, we have the freedom to reach into the toolbox of ideas. And if that toolbox is half empty, we have the freedom to reach into someone else's toolbox. So we have the tools to dream. So let's always remember, swing slow, keep your head down, and follow through.
The impossible dream.
There's no other place like Vegas to see.
Legend!
Music in the world.
Concert at the Imperial Palace Hotel and Casino, where the biggest names in show business come alive nightly. Live music, no lip syncing. The original Celebrity Tribute Spectacular. 794-3261 or call toll free only at the Imperial Palace Center Strip.